Funny how Isayama uses Attack on Titan characters in a front cover magazine for parody's sake. Huh. There's a reason why we have role models in our time. They can be inspiring and encouraging. They can help a person or people to gain a future. The one downside is, it doesn't always mean good. One can inspire them to do great things. However, it's their decision to choose a path. This series has done stories about inspiration in the past. This time, we see the effect from the characters we follow since the beginning. This may be a chapter with more developments in story and conflicts, but is one that is necessary to understand the deep foundation of his long-term effect. Leader is a fitting title. Gabi and Falco are brought to the girl's orphan house. I believe it's not the same house as where we last saw Historia, but regardless, she doesn't appear here at all. Instead, it's a story of two Marley kids. One tries to fit in, and the other can't stand to live on the soil of the devil. This is quite challenging chapter for those who can't stand Gabi's attitude, but it is necessary if the ending truly has its merits. For the most part, she is still under influence of Paradise Island citizens as demons, while Falco is more open to others. Once they got inside the girl's house, he does the talking for both. If Gabi were to talk, it's an early game over for them. Falco may not be strong, but he is wise to think carefully. He thought of a fake name for both and a fake backstory on the spot. The way he speaks appears like a bad actor. If so, I would love to see an animator. The Bronze family welcomes them to the farm. As you can guess, they are nice people, helping others like they are family. It was all nice and charming with the mother patting Gabi's head like a nice kid. Until Gabi knocks her hand violently. It really got awkward at the dining table, almost like they're about to scream, "Evil!" Falco reacts quickly to ease the mood and eats his breakfast with glee. Seriously, I believe he's pulling a bad acting skill. Let's just imagine. Oh look, a breakfast. Delicioso. I really wanted to see an animator, seriously. So everything seems back to normal. For now, we have a greedy lady, Kiyomi, and a strange fellow, Darius, having a chat. Basically, he greets her to the Paradise Island, the most dangerous island in the world. He actually said that, which is funny. She congratulates them for their victory at Marley. But the real important one is the invention of an aircraft run by Iceberg Stone. It's designed for the flattening the world plan. The next battle is shaping up to be more devastating than I thought. Speaking of devastating, there's an uproar by the headquarters. All the introduced characters from the Uprising arc are present here. This is like a tribute to the anime since it is the current arc. While we're at it, let's also put Haji into the mix because there's nothing like a good old reunion. Sadly, it is a reunion of trust slowly being tarnished. Once again, I feel bad for her to appear disloyal to her people. With the anime recalling the moment, it's actually sad to see this. That's a good timing on Izayama's part. Everyone feels like Haji has changed her way when they are told about Eren as captive and such. She can only tell them that her method is to save Eldians. It's not the best answer, but she is clearly stressed out. The one who leaked out the info is the new recruits. That includes Floch. Usually the new patch of characters tend to be the next runner-up to die. It could still be the case, but they are adding something else to the table, starting with Floch. He's making it difficult for Haji since he's more on the freedom fighter side that believes domination is the key. He wants to cause a protest to free Eren. This ensued a heated argument between him and Haji, and it's pretty interesting. It's mainly because no one is really right, even if one path is already decided. One way or another, Paradise Island is in a tough position. Either die by starvation or die by fighting. I like how that one panel has them sitting in their chairs silently, indicating either no one wins the debate or Floch has the lead because of the path they're already in. He pleads once more to release Eren, which is his closing argument. It was technically her fault to follow this plot, but she won't let the damage go any further. Therefore, she sends them to solitary confinement. This means she won the confrontation, right? She has, in a sense of disagreeing his proposal. However, Floch got the last laugh by not only be glad to go to jail, but doing so for the humans of the walls. That makes him look like the hero and at the same time mocks her. The sad part is the reminder of a moment from an Uprising arc where that guy in Misery warned her that the role is played in turns. In other words, she is playing the role now. She is slowly losing her cool, but she can't let it go, nor get some sleep. Damn. I miss her eccentric personality. If you recall a new female recruit, she is Louise, and yes, she is the one who Mikasa saved in the past. Good eyes, fans. Those two have a chat at the cell, and this is where the chapter's title becomes clear. Louise is a big fan of hers ever since that day. I can't confirm if she loves her in a romantic sense, especially how she hoped she was in the same cell as hers. But regardless, she is obviously influenced. That all said, there's something not right. While Louise is all about fighting to survive, her ways of handling it is questionable. She thinks if she breaks out the cell, she will be excused because she fights for honor. I know other manga excuse it like nothing, but let's be real. It doesn't matter because she still stands by her choice. No regret. It gets a bit personal when she mentioned Mikasa's reasoning to join Survey Corps, and it annoys her. The sad part is, it feels like Mikasa is responsible for Louise's upbringing, for better or worse. It tops it off with Louise saluting, a familiar imagery from the past. That right there says it all about inspiration. The one part that I'm still wondering the purpose is when Mikasa has a sudden flashback to when her life was changed forever. It strongly emphasized the brutality of the moment when Eren killed that invader, including the close-up shot of his expression covered in blood. It's rather eerie with Eren casually saying not to worry in a disturbing view. I don't know the meaning behind it, or rather, what's going to follow up this scene. It'll probably be addressed when she and Armin confront Eren. The segment with Pixis and Yelena is more of a segue to something interesting that is saved for next time. That said, I did enjoy the build towards it, with Yelena just chilling and Pixis jotting down all the evidence that interested him. It's no secret that she would love to speak with the great Eren. That is actually noteworthy because it plays a part in here. Apparently, she was caught in an act where she requested to be placed under supervision, and the one who was placed in that position was Floch. That already tells you everything. Because of him, he took her to a residential area that was pretty close to Eren's residential area. That's where they believe she and Eren made contact. That's not hard to argue against. With Pixis got her attention, they're going to have a long talk, and it could be interesting. It could answer a lot. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I gotta say, Isayama does have a strange yet funny sense of humor, considering the dark nature. Case in point, the cleaning up the barn scene. Gabi and Falco are normally cleaning, when suddenly the horse was channeling the fans and take a bite off her head. She then slips and falls hard. It must be fans' pleasing moment. I laugh at the horse. Hell, I think it's laughing as well. Don't forget the classic bucket on the head scene. I like how Falco keeps screaming her name for every blunder. It's like, Gabi? Gabi? Gabi! It's pretty funny, really. It's also funny how they take her devil calling as a joke. She's like, this is the work of the devil. Falco is like, no, it's just the horse. Thankfully, he's thinking straight to keep it calm, making the best out of the situation. He convinces her to stay by noting that Marley and the world will eventually arrive to attack, though she thought he hated Zeke for the betrayal. The one worrisome to keep in mind is Falco did screw up for Marley by sending Eren's letter. If she learns about it, God knows what will happen next. We then have an unusual children drama segment involving with Gabi, of course, and the girl. Surprisingly, I was pretty intrigued. I must have missed it, but the girl's name is Kaya. Anyway, it was all calming during the break, nice and easy. Until Kaya mentions the tragic event 4 years ago. That was the trigger for Gabi. Because of the lesson that was shoved into Marley's children's mind, she acts like Paradise Island is filled with murderers that ask for sympathy. It is like, yeah, well, you did sin first, so why are you acting like the victim? The funny part is, Kaya knew those two are from Marley, and it took them a couple of words to realize what she just said. What's also hilarious is how this wasn't earth-shattering news to them, wondering how she knows. Only the explanation boils down to, Falco said it out loud. Oops. So it was his fault. Who knew? Falco laughs it off, but Gabi tries to attack with a pitchfork in front of everyone. This would have been the best time to expose them, but Kaya lies and says she only got upset due to their friendship. Amazing how Kaya comes off more mature out of this feud, though that's not a surprise. The only question is, why? She takes them on a tour to a village where she used to live 4 years ago. She explains her grim experience with a Titan when she was with her mother with legs problem. If you haven't guessed it by now, she's in fact the same girl who Sasha saved back in anime season 2. The long-term payoff strikes again. Bless this series. Also, good call once again, fans. The way she tells her story is disturbing, especially the part about her mother's slow, painful death. I know we have seen it before, but it doesn't make it any less scary. She then proceeds to ask them a tough question that makes the segment necessary. What did her mom do to deserve it? I believe, and hopefully I'm right, this moment is where Gabi put everything on the table and lashed out from the bottom of her heart of her feelings. I said this because her attitude and mindset must change right here, right now. Instead of having her endlessly complain about the devil crap, she must be put in her place, and this is the time. Right from the very start, she already lost the argument when she mentioned something that happened 8,000 years ago. So what? Okay, it's not the best choice of words, but the thing is, a person should only look what's now and later on. If there's anything to recite a past, it's your own. That's it. Don't let others' journey carry you. Everything she spouts out has nothing to do with Laya's mother, let alone her. This is why Gabi's mental state is so corrupted. The most effective part is when Laya begins to respond back, and every time she does, Gabi slowly loses her stand. Her argument is nothing but a reach for the sake being the righteous one. Laya has the same expression throughout the chapter until she loses it here because of Gabi's unconvincing answer. Her stand is far more reasonable than Gabi because not only she lost her mother, but it happened not so long ago. She saw it herself, and Gabi could only reference a history that who knows is even true. She's clearly defeated, couldn't even say anything more. Falco gives her the answer, and it's all because of the military. Simple as that. He apologizes because he has a heart. It's not his fault, but I can understand why. After all that breakdown, Laya continues to cover them. That's nice and mature of her. But why? It's because of Sasha. It's rather awkward that she mentioned about her in front of Gabi because, well, you know. She explains the story of how she was saved and ultimately changed her life. Gabi actually calmly asks why she's helping them, which I think is a good sign for her character to calm down for once. Her replies hits the theme perfectly. She wants to become a good person like that girl. In other words, Sasha was her role model, her leader. This seems to be a defining moment for them so they can learn and grow up outside of Marley. It's definitely challenging to withstand Gabi, but she's a kid and manipulated to the core, so I won't fault her that much. Now, if she remained very similar after this, I don't know how much we have to endure. Still, if this is the changing point, I'll be glad that it happened here. This was a pretty intriguing chapter. It continues to build up each aspect at Paradise Island, including the new weapon that I'll bet it will happen when Marley attacks. The whole conflict within Survey Corps continued to be interesting, not knowing where this is going, including Eren. There were noteworthy tidbits such as Mikasa's memory that could lead to interesting developments. The whole segment with Gabi and Falco can be rough for many, but if its payoff begins to surface in the next chapter, then it's well worth the endurance. The theme was well addressed with how one generation can affect another, for better or worse. Is why Leader is the chapter's title. Life goes on. And that will do it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. Shame we didn't get to see Eren at all. I mean, he didn't even appear in this chapter. I was hoping to get some answers, but I guess we have to wait a little longer. In due time. What do you think of the chapter? Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel, and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.